Hey guys, this is Solidworks. Today we're gonna have a look at another actual practical example of the equation. Alright, let's dive into it. So first, I'm just gonna open up the new part and then I'm gonna actually just set as IPS. And for now, I'm just gonna start from right-handed plane and then just create a one kind of simple, just L bracket shape of it. And then I'm just gonna make two line equal and then just apply 4-inch. That's good. And then it's fully defined. And then I'm gonna go to shooter and then just base flange. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually just expand this direction and then just set as mid plane, and then I'm gonna apply 10-inch for now. Okay, that's good. And then just for visual appearance, actually I'm just gonna set galvanize, and then that was already pre-assigned some kind of specific material appearances, so that's why we only apply the material, but some appearance already apply on this material. Okay, all right, so sorry, actually I'm just gonna make it a little bit longer, by the way, almost like a 20-inch. Okay, so I'm gonna apply 20-inch, and then from here I just want you to go to equation, or I actually just put the E as equation axis. So I'm just gonna type E for equation axis, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually just create a new global variable, which is just L and then 20. Okay, and then I'm just gonna hit OK. And alright, so what I'm gonna do is instead of actually using 20, I'm gonna actually just type equal to L, and then as you can see there is just one option you can select, and then click it and click OK, and then Control B or Q, and then that's gonna be assigned the specific L value to the length of it. Okay, and I think I can also assign FL, so FL for the just 2-inch, and then it's gonna be like flange, so flange length. Okay, and then this is gonna be just simple length, and then I'm just gonna hit OK. And then what I'm gonna do next is just even for the bottom side, I'm gonna hit FL and then just hit enter several times to just make sure everything is just apply those equations properly. Okay, so this seems good, and then all those values are not really matter actually. Today's actually just objective is just we're gonna create a hole. Okay, so firstly I'm just gonna actually select his face and create a sketch, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually just create a center line, or just if you go to sketch, and then there's a, if you go to the drop down menu right beside the line, there's a center line, and then from the center point of this line, and then I'm just gonna assign 2-inch, and I'm just gonna create another hole which is just 0.187 or just 0.2. I think just a little bit simple is the alright. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually just go to a shortcut box and then just directly go to the extrude cut. So what this hole's gonna do for sheet metal is just in sheet metal industry we use a lot of actual rivet. So we connecting one rivet to another sheet metal to another sheet metal. So this is very important to just put the location of the the pre-cut hole location properly, so we can actually just have kind of easy of actually just assembling sheet metal to sheet metal. So then we want to have actually more rivet because we don't really only have just one hole. So the way we can do is, of course, the most kind of simple way for sure is just we can just create several more hole and then hole like this, and then just we can make those 3 holes equal, and then we can just put a dimension and then just 5-inch, something like this. I mean, we can do it. But the problem is, this is just quite a lot of work. Okay, let's just only think at one example case. I'm gonna actually just grab to center and then just make horizontal, and then this is just still not fully defined just because the size is just not equal to this hole, so I'm just gonna make it equal. Okay, alright, hit OK. But the problem is, when it comes to just go to equation and then you, for example, actually change to 480, okay, and then hit OK, and then even though actually just the length is just kind of longer, but the hole, the location for just each hole is still same. I mean, sometimes it will be fine, but your intention of those hole location is just all the time has to be changes just based on the length, then you have to just go to here and you have to apply 7.5 or something like this. You have to just like do it. It's not a lot of work, but what I want is by changing this value from 40 to 30, for example, I just want that whole location to be consistent. And also the number of pores are more, but based on the length, even the number of the holes could be reduced based on the length. So what's the way we can do? So we can actually just go to the sketch, and the first line, I'm just gonna delete it, okay? And then hit OK, and there's only one hole, okay? But this time, I'm gonna actually just do a new feature, which is just go to the feature, and then there is a linear pattern. And actually we've done it before, but this is a little bit different case. I'm just gonna click this direction because we're gonna actually apply, and then it's just okay for like this one, but just a little bit better visual. I'm just gonna apply 4, and I'm just gonna type 4. Just like it doesn't really matter, you can type like any other number, but and then for the feature, I'm just gonna click feature, and then I'm just gonna hit this one, and then hit OK. Okay, and then that's gonna create a 3 more holes. But the things that you can see once you click this feature is firstly dimension, okay? And the second thing you can see is you have to be a little bit careful, but there is a number 4, you can just move it around. And then this is just the the driving point of actually the number of the holes and then the distance, okay? So if you double click it, you can actually just assign the equation, and then you can also just assign this equation as well, okay? Alright, so from here, so we assigned actually 4 holes and then 4 dimensions for now, okay? But from here, we can firstly manipulate this number of the holes. So how we're gonna do it? Let's just think about it. So if we having a look at the first sketch, we assign the 2 inch of just kind of safety gaps, because we can just put some kind of gaps between it, because it doesn't really have to be in line. We can just put some kind of enough gaps so that could be actually just guarantee some space, enough space. We can just away from the edge. So what that means is even on the other side, there should be a 2 inch, so it should be kind of symmetry. For the design for manufacturing, which is just DFMA, I think this is always best practice to make the part actually as symmetry as possible, so you don't have to be really kind of confusing it with the left-handed or right-handed version. Okay, so then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna actually go to here, and then I know actually what's the over distance of the length, so we can just type L, and then this is the over length, okay? But we have to just subtract it 2 times 2 inch, because one side on the left, one side on the right handed. Because what we want to actually just get the value right now is over distance to end of the hole, okay? So then we have to make sure just apply in a bracket, and then what we're gonna do next is what's the distance we want to apply for this kind of measurement. So I'll say for this case, I want to try 10 inch. So it could be around 10 inch just distance. So if you actually just think of we try to apply 10 inch, approximately 10 inch, how many holes we can just create for this 40 inch of in a flange length. But the problem is actually, if you think about it, this is 40, and then minus 4, that's gonna be, so we have to firstly put the inner bracket first, so it make sure actually just this subtracting is just going first, and then just divide by 10. So if you just approximately do the math, and then L is 40 minus 4 is 36, divided by 10 is 3.6, which is just not a nominal value. So how can you actually just handle this case? Then this case, what we can do is at the most front side, we can just type int. Int is just integer, so any kind of decimal point value is going to be just converting to just nominal value, okay? So we have to just assign just one more bracket in front, and then all the way back, actually we have to just close bracket, okay? So hit enter, and then it's gonna just create 2, but it doesn't really make sense if you think about it. Actually, we assign 10 inch, and also the overall length is just 30 inch. So if you think just this is the first point, and then there is a 10 inch away from here is just around here, let's say, but there should be one more. So what we can do is all the way back, I want you to add +1. So it also just consider the end point of the hole, not only actually considering this one and this one, because actually when the number was 2, it was just kind of rounding down the number of the decimal points. So that's why it'd be better to just like adding just one more. No matter how the decimal point is, how high it is, it's still gonna be just rounding down. So that's why we're better just adding 1. Okay, so then what we're gonna do next is I just want you to double click this value, double click it, and then it's gonna show this kind of window. And then what we're gonna do next is I'm gonna do the similar thing. I'm gonna assign L minus, open the bracket, and then 2 times 2, close the bracket, and then yeah, I want you to actually just open the bracket all the way first, and then just close the bracket, and then divide by 3. But I just don't want you to stop from here, because if you just do it, what's gonna be happen is it only gonna go until here, because it only actually just applying for the 3. But we also want to have just one more value over here. So what we can do here right now is basically we have to just like minus or subtract -1. So then what's gonna do is it's gonna be the value is gonna be actually just like even. Okay, so the problem it happened is just we have to just open another bracket and then just close bracket all the way back, so subtraction go even first. So then the final result is just it's gonna be just like hole to hole distance is gonna be 13 inch, and then it's gonna just apply at the right location. It looks like this. It's perfect, right? So then this is a time that we're gonna have such a huge strength. I just want you to open up the equation, and I want you to type 60 inch, a little bit more exaggerating lengths. And then if you just hit OK, it's gonna be a little bit hard to see, but can you see the number of holes are automatically just changed? And okay, let's just try even actually just more exaggerating case, 120 inch lengths. Hit OK, and then what that's gonna do is it's gonna consistently increasing the number of the holes even without any troubles, right? So then, you know, the benefit of thing is just you can just copy another configuration and then change this value to 60, but make sure actually just not, you know, set as all configuration, only this configuration. And then we're gonna have just 2 different lengths, like this one, 120 inch, but like whole location is just properly kind of located. And then 002, even actually just we reduce significantly a lot. The whole locations are just like consistently keep changing, and then this is just like no error for any kind of feature. So only with those 3 features, like how, you know, amazing this equation automation skill is. Once you apply, it's gonna take a bit of extra time for the template, but once you set this up, you don't have to change anything. You just have to change the lengths. That's the only thing. So that's the benefit that actually just we're trying to automate like any kind of process, so we can just like smartly set the template, and then we're just gonna keep cascading to another actually just bigger unit. So yeah, that's the whole point of actually just doing this kind of equation. This is not the end. I'm actually promising with you there's a lot more automated and advanced tool I would like to share with you. So hopefully actually this video was helpful, and if this video was helpful, please just like kudo, and then, you know, subscribe to this channel, and then just like follow for another actually just great videos. All right, thanks for watching. I will see you next one. Bye.